An 83-year-old was jailed after allegedly putting his hands down a child's pants. A villager allegedly attacked her husband over a missing TV remote. A Guatemalan living in Florida for 5 years has been turned over to ICE. A villager was arrested on a warrant charging her with hit and run. Oh, Wawa, you're at it again. Bad parking at Wawa leads to an arrest. A homeless woman was jailed after defecating in broad daylight at a shopping plaza. A popular village's diner is to anchor the new shopping plaza. And we have some updates. How many holes of ones of golf do we get this week? Letters to the editor. This and more. Coming up. Okay, we got some updates for you. Let's get to them and get them out of the way. A villager entered a plea after an alleged road rage attack on a woman riding an electric bicycle. Joseph Robert Malzik, 56, of the village of Monarch Grove, has pleaded not guilty to a felony charge of battery on a person over the age of 65. He remains free on a $5,000 bond. A villager could be called to testify after her son's gal pal was found dead at her home. Carol Lee Ducott of the village of Charlotte has been listed in a state's discovery exhibit filed earlier this month in Sumter County Court. In addition, a neighbor has been listed in the discovery exhibit, which is on file in court. This one goes back a few months. A son has been sentenced in the attack of his 81-year-old mother, who asked him to turn down his music. Michael Christopher Holland, 56, has been placed on 18 months of probation after pleading no contest this week in Sumter County Court to charges of battery on a person over the age of 65 and resisting arrest. Well, that'll be it for the updates. Let's get on with some news. Let's have some more news. An 83-year-old man was jailed after allegedly sticking his hands down a 5-year-old child's pants. Arthur Davila Spengler, who lives at 5462 Heritage Boulevard in Wildwood, was visiting at a home in Sumterville on Friday afternoon when a woman observed Spengler stick his right hand down the front of the victim's pants under the waistband approximately to his wrist, according to a arrest report from Sumter County Sheriff's Office. The woman physically removed Spengler's hands from the boy's pants and ordered Spengler to leave. The Pennsylvania native was arrested on a felony charge of lewd and lascivious behavior. He was booked at the Sumter County Detention Center, where he was initially held without bond. This guy, maybe, I'm thinking dementia, maybe something, it's hard to tell. A villager allegedly attacked her bedridden husband over a missing remote for a television. Are you serious? Dolores Ann Lizotte, 67, went to her husband's bedroom Friday afternoon and confronted him about the missing remote at their home in the Arlington Villas in the village of Belvedere, according to the arrest report from Sumter County Sheriff's Office. Lizotte's husband was recently discharged from a hospital, needs a walker to get around, and is mostly bedridden. The couple began to argue, and Lizotte threw a phone book at her husband. The phone book missed him and landed on the bed. The husband was afraid Lizotte was going to strike him with the grabber stick, so he seized a hold of it, starting a tug-of-war battle. I'm just picturing things in my mind. I'm not laughing at him or anything. He let go of the stick, and it hit Lizotte near her eye. This is like Three Stooges act. Lizotte was deemed the primary aggressor in the altercation. The couple has a history of violence, and both were arrested in a domestic brawl last year at their home. Also in 2024, Lizotte's home was the subject of a deed compliance hearing after they removed their white picket fence and replaced it with a block wall construction. They did so without submitting an application or receiving approval from the Architectural Review Committee. The Lizottes were ordered to remove the block wall and put back the white picket fence. Doris Lizotte has a history of bizarre behavior. She was arrested in 2023 after an alleged attack on her husband. She was arrested in 2019 in the theft of flowers in from the bench near the postal station in the village of Belvedere. In 2017, she had been arrested after she was kicked out of Dunkin' Donuts at Southern Trace Plaza. She was allowed to enter into a pretrial intervention program, thus avoiding prosecution. Man, Grandma's feisty. A home in the Villages has been in violation of deed compliance since 2019. The Community Development District 6 Board of Supervisors on Friday morning heard about a new problem at the home at 467 Abo Way in the village of Amelia. The newest complaint was received December 5 by community standards with regard to ivy growing from the eaves of the home. The new complaint led to a public hearing Friday at Seabreeze Recreation Center. Supervisors, after reviewing evidence including photographs, unanimously agreed that the home was out of compliance. The home was the subject of a public hearing in 2019. The home has already racked up $7,476 in fines and $1,976 in legal fees. Richard and Helen Keller purchased the home in 2013 for $176,000. Richard Keller died in 2014. Helen Keller, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Kelleher, Keller, is apparently living in Massachusetts. The district has been cutting the grass since 2019. CDD 6 board chairman John Calandro said it's time to get aggressive and get some results on the non-compliant home. It's important to be aggressive as we can be because this is a problem for the neighbors, Calandro said. The house has been empty for some time. I know the neighbors are frustrated. Yeah, and houses being out of compliance is getting to be more and more of a problem. People get sick, they go into the hospital, they go back up north where family's at. If they have family left, they go into assisted living maybe. I don't know, but for some reason these houses just sit. I've never understood it. Sell them, put the money in the bank. Whatever your situation is, you just sell it and put the money in the bank. I mean, why not? A Guatemalan who has been living and working for 5 years in the United States will be turned over to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement after he was caught driving a minivan. Werner Shai Panti, 28 of Akui, was driving a 2006 gold Dodge Caravan at about 6:15 a.m. Monday in the area of State Road 44 and County Road 470 at Lake Panisovsky when a deputy ran the van's license plate and found that the vehicle's registered owner did not possess a valid license, according to a arrest report from Sumter County Sheriff's Office. During the traffic stop, Shai Ponte provided the deputy with a Guatemalan identification card. Shai Ponte indicated he has been living in Florida for 5 years and working full-time. A computer check confirmed he'd never obtained a driver's license in the United States. He was arrested and booked at Sumter County Detention Center, where ICE put a hold on his custody. And see what makes it bad on all this kind of thing. The odds are, if the vehicle's not registered, he don't have a driver's license, there's probably no insurance on the car, and the public is at risk. A villager has been arrested on a warrant charging her with hit and run. Noreen Neverly, 75 of the village of Hillsboro, was taken into custody by Sumter County Sheriff's deputies Wednesday night on a felony charge. The Chicago native was held without bond overnight at the Sumter County Detention Center. A judge set her bond at $5,000 in a hearing Thursday in Sumter County Court. Neverl posted the bond and was released Thursday afternoon. Now here's a report that didn't happen in the villages. It may have happened in commercial property that the villages once owned. It's golf cart accessible, but it's not in the villages where the residents actually live. But if you buy a home here and you've never been here before, these are some of the things that if you go out shopping around the villages or on the outer edges of the villages, you might encounter something like this. A homeless woman was arrested after she squatted and defecated in broad daylight at a busy shopping center. Nice. Officers were called at about 1 p.m. Thursday to Village Crossroads after a business operator reported the incident and snapped a photo of the woman, later identified as 63-year-old Melody Ann Smith, according to a arrest report of Lady Lake Police Department. The Georgia native was in plain sight of passing vehicles on Highway 27 and 441 in the vicinity of Chipotle Mexican Grill when she squatted over the sidewalk with her pants and underwear pulled down, the report said. When officers attempted to take her into custody, she pulled away and resisted their efforts. She was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. She was booked at the Lake County Jail on a $1,500 bond. Well, after witnessing a sight like that, let's go have some lunch. A popular local diner will anchor a new shopping plaza. Daryl's Diner enjoys a loyal following and its restaurants in and around the villages. My favorite Daryl's is the one over there off of 301 there in Wildwood. I don't know what it is about that place. I just like it. When I go over there, when I get a chance, I do stop there. The newest Daryl Diners will be located at Teague Plaza at 1124 Teague Trail in Lady Lake. The Teague Plaza project proposes a restaurant and 4 inline stores on the first floor and 6 two-bedroom apartments on the second floor, according to information from Town Hall at Lady Lake Growth Management Department. The project dates back to 2017 when the property was rezoned, granting land use entitlements for future commercial development. Upon approval of the ordinance by the Commission in March 2017, a site plan for the construction of the commercial center was submitted for review. The site plan was approved by the Commission in November 2018. Because construction did not commence prior to the due date, the development order expired. In 2023, a new site plan application was submitted, bringing this project back to life. The applicant submitted an identical plan to what was originally approved by the Commission. The site plan was brought to the Commission for final approval on May 2024. The building permit for the construction was issued in December 2024, with construction beginning in January 2025. As part of this project, an 8-foot masonry wall will be constructed along the rear property line as a buffer between the residential and commercial zoning districts. Well, there you go, another Daryl's Diner. They seem to be doing well around here. I've been to the one at Pinellas. Not a big fan. It ain't the food, it's just the atmosphere inside. I'm not a big fan of the way it's laid out. But the one over in Wildwood, like I say, that's my favorite. An ambitious landscaping plan in the village of Duval ran afoul of deed compliance rules, and the owner has been given 45 days to correct it. A complaint was received February 12th about a home at 2546 English Ivy Circle, and an inspection found the landscaping extended into the right-of-way and was not approved by the Architectural Review Committee. The property owner, Valerie Patricia Farish, has been cooperating with district staff, according to Community Standards Director Matt Armstrong. She's diligently working to bring the property into compliance, he told Community District 7 supervisors Thursday during the public hearing. Supervisors voted to accept Armstrong's recommendations, granting her 45 days to receive ARC's approval or restore the property to its original design. If she meets those conditions, the case will be closed. If not, she faces fines. The owner, who did not attend the hearing, has applied for ARC approval. Well, we all know how that usually turns out. See, that's the reason why we have some of these committees here like ARC, is because what some people look at as being tasteful, I'm looking at this thinking, I see what she's doing. Me personally, I don't have a big problem with a lot of this stuff, but it's just not put in correctly. There's a proper way of installing stuff in your yard to make it look like it belongs there. And this doesn't look like it belongs there, if I'm saying this. If anything I say makes any sense. Oh, Wawa. What would we do without you? A bad parking job led to the arrest of a woman at a local Wawa. Summer Ann Sweeney, 30, of Melbourne, was passed out in a car at about 4:45 Thursday when an officer noticed the vehicle was parked perpendicular to the appropriate parking spaces on the side of the building at Wawa on County Road 466 and 27 and 441, according to the Rescue Department Lady Lake Police Department. When officers made contact with Sweeney, they found her slouched over in the driver's seat with her eyes closed and the car's engine running. A straw with a cloudy white substance was on her lap, in plain view. She was found to be in possession of 0.07 grams of methamphetamine and a total of 5 straws used for ingesting narcotics. She was arrested on charges of possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. She was booked at the Lake County Jail and released after posting a $3,500 bond. Gosh, you kids, you're ruining your life. You're just ruining it and don't even know it. swimming pool at the Chula Vista Recreation Center is undergoing a complete renovation. The pool originally built in 1993 is being completely renovated with new marshlight, waterline tile, coping, equipment, as well as pool deck pavers. This will be complemented by an additional 2,000 square feet of pool deck space and additional shade structure and shade trellis. In addition, a natural gas fire pit with a seating area and additional picnic tables are being installed. The bathrooms will be renovated with new tile fixtures. The renovated pool is expected to reopen in May. The work is being funded through the Amenity Authority Committee. Well, congratulations on getting your new pool. Sounds like it's going to be a big upgrade up there. Wildwood's historic Baker House soon will be listed on the Daughters of the American Revolution website. Commissioners approved the listing at a Monday meeting. The listing will be completed by an organization member with assistance from the City Parks and Recreation Department. Built by State Senator David Baker about 1890 in the community of Orange Home, the site includes a two-story main house with porches on both floors and a separate two-story kitchen house. The kitchen was in a separate building in case of fire. The two buildings were connected by a covered walkway, which later was enclosed to create a family room. With wood floors and sash windows, ornate door hinges, and a hand-carved stair railing, much of the house is original. A major feature is a stained glass window on the second floor. Heat is provided by a living room fireplace. Originally from Kentucky, Baker moved to Florida to grow oranges, eventually acquiring 1,200 acres. He served as a state senator in both Kentucky and Florida. The Baker House, which offers tours and hosts special events, was home to 6 generations of families. I've never been there, but I've heard people talk about it, and I guess it's a pretty big deal, a nice museum piece. Okay, how many holes in ones of golf did we get this week? Looks like 4. Okay. Peggy Fisher of the village of DeLuna got her first hole-in-one at hole number 10 at 87 yards at Live Oak Pitch and Putt Golf Course. Well, congratulations on your first hole-in-one, Peggy. It's always a thrill. A Village of Fernandina resident was excited to get her first hole-in-one. Annie Jensen scored the lucky ace on Saturday, April 12 at hole number 1 at the Marsh View Pitch and Putt at 45 yards using a pitching wedge. Well, congratulations on your hole-in-one there, Annie. A Village of Marsh Bend resident got a hole-in-one Saturday while golfing at the Sweet Gum Executive Golf Course. One of my favorite executive courses when I played Sweet Gum. Jim Wagner scored the lucky ace at hole number 6. Congratulations on your hole-in-one there, Jim. Scott Heckler of the Village of Orange Blossom Gardens recently got his first hole-in-one while playing Mira Mesa Executive Golf Course. Well, congratulations on your hole-in-one there, Scott. Beer's on you, buddy. Okay, let's go to everybody's favorite, letters to the editor. I'm looking. To the editor. The villages need to stop building new homes. Enough is enough. They are ruining this retirement village. That's sent in by Sherry Morella from the village of Gilcrest. Well, Sherry, they said that when you bought your house, people up north. They said that when I bought my house, people up north. Now they're saying that with people buying them south of 44. It's never going to stop. And retirement village, not anymore. My opinion is, this is not a retirement community anymore. That's what got it started. That was the original idea. It's an active adult center. They call it 55 plus. That's not necessarily true either. Those rules are all over the place. What the developer and his family is doing now is we're building a city. Look on the map. We are a city, like Indianapolis, Indiana, Dayton, Ohio. The Villages, Florida. 32163, 32162, 2 zip codes, 3 counties. We are becoming a city. We have schools in here for children. We have family areas in here. This is not a retirement community anymore. That's neither a good thing, it's neither a bad thing. But for those up north, and I'm kind of one of those because my first house was further up north, is that when we came here, this was advertised as a retirement community, 55 plus. One person living in a house full time had to be 55 years old. That's how it was. Today, just take that information and do with it what you want. To the editor, we wholeheartedly agree with a freeze on amenity rates. As seniors, we are being pinched on all sides with cost of living as well as all other factors. Please do what you can do to hold down the cost and put a freeze on the rates. That's sent in by Mark and Kathy Bush from the historic side of the village. So those are the ones that's really getting pinched the worst, the historic side. They've been up there 15, 20 years and maybe even more than that. So the higher things go here, the less they have there. And, after a certain age, medicine becomes your priority, doctor appointments, things like that. You have out-of-pocket expenses, all these kinds of things. I know we're supposed to figure that in as we get older. Before you retire, you're supposed to have all this stuff in place, but do we all really have all that in place? I don't know, but I do feel for it. I like the idea of a cap, but at the same time, I don't want it capped in such a way that we have to start letting some things go. Right now, everything in the villages is clean, everything's pretty, everything's nice. That's what the first thing people notice when they come here to buy a house or whatever, to look around and just check the place out, is how everything looks. And I hear this argument about doing away with flowers because it costs too much. No, I want this place to stay pristine the way it is. And if it means I got to pay an extra $5 a year or $5 a month, whatever, right now I'm fine with that. But I do sympathize with the people up north, especially those that are on a one income level now because they're older. They've lost a spouse, which generally means they've lost all that income. Now they're trying to do this on one income. It's tough. And so, I wish them luck, but I can't do anything. And I kind of wish the developer and them would put their heads together and come up with something, but I don't know what that would be. To the editor, most of the people in the north are older. Many are now with one income due to losing a spouse. We have less money, and it's making it very difficult to live the good life the Villages preaches. That's sent in by Bernadette Youngblood from the village of Woodbury. Well, thank you, Bernadette. I just touched on that issue. You are correct. I don't really have anything really to say. Okay, I think that's going to be the news for this week. I appreciate you all joining. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you for being here. You got any questions, call that number that you see before you now. You can leave a comment on that voicemail, and I'll get back to you. I'm going to make a video on that voicemail situation eventually when I get enough of them on there, and we'll see how it works out. If it don't work out, I'm just going to quit doing it altogether. So with that being said, be well, be safe, take care, keep your health. That's really important.
And don't leave your key in that golf cart.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, Skip, you suck!
This week's news is brought to you by my YouTube and Patreon members.